Right, okay, I'm here. Sorry about the delay. I had to get George walked and all the hedgehogs fed. So we're a little bit later tonight. Apologies. Like I say, I've had to do the hedgehogs. It's a bit difficult to give you an exact time because obviously it's getting later, it's getting darker later. So I've got to make sure that they're all done and ready for when they come. If you do it too early, then the birds come and nick it all before they go to bed. Welcome, everybody. We are on part 1. Hang on. We've had part 1, and then we've had part 1.1, and then we're on part 1.2. So this is still the first of the, I think it's 11 or 12 NASA or related nuclear rocket scientists who are either missing or deceased. We're still on Amy Eskridge. So thank you to Sparkle Soul. Thank you so much, my lovely, for helping. I really appreciate you. She's amazing, Nikki, isn't she? Hello, my lovely, by the way. Hi, Lee. Hello, Bridget Plain. How you doing, love? You've missed some of these, darling. So, oh my God, that door is so annoying. Have you got any WD-40? Anyway, audio checks. How you doing, darling? You've got any WD-40 for that door? No? Have you? If not, we need to get some. It's so annoying. I know. Can you hear it as well? Isn't it annoying? Right, they can hear it as well. So, right, okay. It's so
the anti-cat burglar.
Right. Right. Hi Tamsin, how you doing? Sounds good, brilliant. Hello Lee. So what I'm going to do first, before we finish off last night, because me and Sparkle Soul have been going through and we found the big, hello lovely Jubbly, we found the big long podcast, and it looks like that there is some crossover. So we've already heard some of it in this short clip that we did last night. Right, hang on a minute. Right, I need to make that smaller then. Let's cut it off. Right, okay. So it's not letting me go bigger. The page didn't like it. So I've got her obituary here before we watch the rest of last night's podcast. It's all right. I thought I could get away with that. I've got her obituary, but we're going to watch the end of it because there was a call into Coast to Coast, and we're just going to listen to the last 10 minutes of that. Now, the rest of the 30 or so minutes of what we watched last night of Amy talking to a colleague and friend, we found the full 3-hour one, but like a lot of it is mute. So we're going to watch the 2-hour one. We're going to fast forward the bits that we've already heard, and we're going to see what else Amy had to say. We've got her obituary. I've got some information on her dad as well. Thank you to Bad Gambler. He sent me an email last night. I haven't even gone through that yet. But her dad was working on some really interesting stuff. So before we continue, I want to read this out. I'm going to just drop this link in as well. Sparkle Soul might be coming up as well at some point to help me, I think, but not at the moment. Hello, Mr. Steve. Took rehab away from social media. I don't blame you, my lovely. If you've come in and I've missed you, I apologise. I am not seeing much chat, but Sparkle Soul is here. Let me just get logged in to my Curious Bunny and I can get into the chat because my phone works now, just about. For how long, I do not know. So this is the obituary of Amy, and it says, a brilliant mind. Which is, oh my God, that door. Do you know what? I'm going to order some WD-40 because he's probably, when I ask him, he just doesn't answer me. So thank you very much, Sparkle. I've just seen your WhatsApp. Thank you so much, my lovely. Every time I say, have you got in WD-40? He's like he's thinking about it. Well, it's pissing me off. That door's really pissing me off. Right, okay, I can get one for Thursday. I can't get one for tomorrow. How annoying is that? We will get on that, guys. We will get some WD-40. You might already have some. So the obituary says, a brilliant mind left us when Amy Catherine Eskridge went to her eternal rest in the Lord on Saturday, the 11th of June, 2022. For those of you who are here, you guys are really good at this numerology stuff. We've got 1 or 2 that are really good at this. It might be nothing, but it might be worth you having a look at this, the date, comparing it to certain things, you know, age 34, the date, everything. So she already had a beautiful vision for life and the cosmos. She had a genius for science and questioned the conventional wisdom on everything from the universe to the nanoparticles of the atom. She was also an astute entrepreneur as chairwoman and president of the Institute for Exotic Science in Huntsville, Alabama, which she co-founded. Now, that was later called the Anti-Gravity Institute, and everything's gone on that. I can't find anything. She was greatly loved by her family and friends. Amy's passion for space grew from the start in the Rocket City, where she was born on September the 19th, 1987. After her graduation with a double major in chemistry, she became I think I've read some of this yesterday, and it goes on to say that she was survived by her parents, Kathy and Richard, and brothers and sister-in-law, Matt, Michael, and Victoria. Amy was preceded in death by her maternal grandparents, Margaret and Russell Vance. Might be worth seeing what they did, because let's have a look. And paternal grandparents, Marcella and Charles Eskridge. So I'm guessing the Vance will be her mum's side, because I'm guessing the mum took the dad's name. Amy lived a full life of passion and wonder for the cosmos, and she was deeply loved by all who knew her. Her dear friend Sam Reed, that is her business partner, Samuel Reed, CEO of the Geometric Energy Corporation, we need to look into that, Sparkle Soul, if you don't mind, is launching the company's next Earth orbit satellite in October. So this would have been October 2022. Why are they launching Earth orbit satellites? I thought that was NASA. Including Amy Eskridge as featured in the memorial, and also in their Doge 1 payload going later to the moon. What? In lieu of flowers, the family ask that you donate in the name of Amy to your favourite charity. A family will hold a celebration ceremony of Amy's life at a later date. Now, nowhere in there does it say that she died of a gunshot wound. There's nowhere, anywhere does it say that. George, just open that door. But look at this. Look at this. Look at the comments, guys. The tribute wall yesterday at 6:22 p.m. There's some links here to Substack, which I don't really want to click links. They are trying to do the same thing to us, Amy. And then another one yesterday. I've watched her videos before she died about microwave attacks. They're microwaving us right now. We know, and we will do everything we can to let the people know about these due attacks, so this never happens to nobody again. That's terrible grammar, double negatives and all sorts. Another one, you guys need to actually research her death. Please watch her last few videos before she was murdered. This is not a suicide. I can't say the word, don't like it. This is a murder. So look at this, guys. This is all over the wall. Look, 4 hours ago. Imagine your own parents not believing you. The people that are supposed to love you the most, and she needed them the most. So it's literally full. I love and miss Amy every day. So that must be someone that she knew very well. Another one, look, targeted individual, Substack. So good. I'm glad. I am very sharing that video I watched last night. Look, so I'm so glad that people haven't forgotten. It's all over here. Look, yeah. So anyway, I have linked that if you want to go and look. Amy was never suicidal. Your death was not in vain. Yeah. It's not acceptable, is it, guys? It's just not acceptable what's happened to this woman. Right, how are we getting on? 22 watching. I'm back in the chat. Excuse me. Baby all would work. What with this and the Ukrainian rent boys? Yeah, well, this is just one, Bridget Blaine. There's so many. Okay, how are we all getting on? So we're going to start watching the rest of it. Right, let me just get into here. Hang on a sec. Okay. It's not acceptable. It really isn't. How are we all doing, everybody? Are we all okay? 9 likes. Please hit the like button. Or the dislike. If you don't like me, I'll get over it. Okay. We're going to continue watching the end of last night's. How much did we have left now? There wasn't much, was there? About 10 minutes, I think. Oh, let's get that on then. For the door. I did guess what you meant, Lee. Okay, so we're going to watch the end of this. Look at this. Verified injuries from RF directed energy weapons. Look at this. What they're doing to people. And people think this is just a conspiracy, but then they thought that about the chemtrails, and now that's been proven. Well, they admitted it last year. The government admitted it. Right, okay. So let's continue this, and then we will watch some more of the we've got more of the other podcasts that she did. We've got more of that. So me and Sparkle Soul have been going through that today. She's absolutely amazing. Right, okay then.
You had links to GRU, Soviet military intelligence. And I think the attacks on both American and Canadian diplomats from everywhere from Havana to Kazakhstan and to other areas, it looks to me definitely orchestrated by an actor like the Russians and possibly the Chinese, who would have access to this type of technology. And I think it's been fairly well established now. There was a recent congressional hearing where experts were attested to the fact that this was like a GRU unit that was involved in these attacks on high flyers in the FBI and the Defense Intelligence Agency as well. And then, of course, the key question is, well, how did they know who were the high flyers and how to target them? Right, so that's the other thing. What I understand from the Havana syndrome, and I talked a lot about this with Dr. Robert McGuire, he actually said in public, because he was a kind of like I call him Bob MacGyver. Yeah. He was working at the Institute for Defense Analyses for many years. So he was actually advising, the U.S. government on all kinds of, technical countermeasures. He actually said in public that he'd been in Russia in the 90s, in Moscow, and he'd actually seen, like the antennas and the kit that was pointed at the U.S. embassy to direct these acoustic signals effectively. Because I believe with the Havana syndrome as directed against U.S. government personnel, those have mainly been acoustic energy weapons, high frequency. And also, what another scientist I spoke to said that she was hit with one of those and was actually able to measure it. So that's my understanding of the Havana syndrome.
Some of the notes that she had sent to you and that you shared with me and put online are pretty telling. She writes in one point, giving a CIA agent a headache in a hotel is kind of like, why is it even worth the effort? Why would you expose your capabilities just to do that? But targeting a scientist and giving them a damn seizure every time they sit down to type about a certain topic, now that will impede progress on that topic pretty effectively. She says, my pain definitely is worse when I was working on something interesting. It definitely always worse when I have a deadline to submit a paper. That's intriguing. I mean, how would they know that that's what she's working on and that's a good time to hit her with it?
Well, I mean, it would be, yeah. I think it would be a case of, you do the hacking and they would have identified her, targeted her, and then it would just be a case of just bombard her, with the harassment, with the directed energy weapons, all the rest of it. I mean, there's an interesting declassified paper from the National Security Agency talking about this guy Beck, who was hit with high-powered microwave energy systems. So that's from the DIA. So it said the 2012 intelligence information indicated that this weapon is designed to bathe the target's living quarters in microwaves, causing numerous physical effects, including a damaged nervous system. So, but they're saying that there's no evidence that such a weapon was associated with a hostile country in the 1990s. But I mean, I think now we're well past that in terms of what's been told to Congress. That definitely there are hostile government actors using these kind of technologies. And the Americans, the Brits, they won't be any, and the Israelis won't be any different. They'll have access to these things as well. I mean, if you look at the campaign that the Israelis have been launching since the kind of 2009, 2010 against Iranian scientists, I mean, they've been doing harassment, bombings, targeted assassinations. It's not something that's unique to, Russia.
But it's not just governments that have this capability. What you're describing is some corporations, some private entities who've got it here and are using it. I would think you'd want to keep that technology under wraps, but contractors, private companies seem to have it if your suspicions about what happened to Amy are true.
Well, I think the technology is too pervasive now, because before, you used to have seat of your SUV, as Amy's CIA guy said, hooks up to 5 car batteries. So, I think we're at the point where even, any sort of any hostile actor, whether it were a terrorist organization, so long as they had, the scientific know-how, then they could probably get their hands on something like that. And certainly, if it were contractors, domestic contractors, which is what I believe, which is who I believe were targeting Amy, and certainly the people, the ex-military.
Hey, Medusa, we just listened to the end of this. This is a call into Coast to Coast. I don't know who this is. I don't know whether this is her business partner, Samuel Reed, but he's calling in Coast to Coast in 2024, I think this was, about the so-called unaliving of Amy Eskridge, who was the first of many recent deaths or missing people in the NASA nuclear circle. We're going to be moving on to Michael tomorrow. I know that there's not as much information on Michael, so that will be a shorter show. He's number 2. Sparkle Soul's already started doing some work with him. But yeah, we're just going to flick through these podcasts. We're just going to hear the end of this now, and then we're going to go on to the podcast. Just quickly, I've got a little bit more information. I know someone came in. I've just looked back. Hello, Pat. How you doing? Hello, Medusa. How you doing, my love? Someone came in at the start called Oscar, and she's who. The thing is, guys, if you look at the thumbnail of this one, it says Amy Eskridge Last Known Podcast. It's got the little NASA emblem, which I made sure that was on there. So these are these missing NASA scientists. I'm doing a whole deep dive into them. I will be putting all of these into the NASA Missing Science playlist. For those of you that have missed last night and the night before, we've covered a lot of this one person alone. She said she wasn't feeling idle. She definitely wasn't going to do anything to herself. She was a targeted individual. That some of her own testimony is damning, and they still bumped this woman off. And again, for the gunshot, there's no evidence that that she died of a gunshot. There's nothing. There's no police report. There's no coroner's report. There's no autopsy. There's nothing. There's nothing. Somebody has literally said somewhere, a Chinese whisper, probably started by the CIA, somewhere along the line have said, oh, it was a gunshot wound, and that's it. It's just spiraled. There's no evidence. There's nothing about how she died. So just want to make you aware of that. We're going to hear the end of this. And then I do want to quickly mention, when we finish this, something I want to talk about before we then go and listen to some more of what Amy said. This is really interesting stuff. If you've been following it all the way through, thank you for sticking with me. And if you're new to it, my advice is go back and listen to from the beginning, because it's too much to try and recap here. But let's just finish this first.
The intelligence people who were around Amy believed that it was domestic contractors. They certainly have access to technology like that, working for the people that they work for.
Well, she shared this, as you said, with some former agency people. Did they help her? Did they try to figure out who was doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I actually put her in touch with. Somebody from an intelligence agency to try and get it stopped, because given where she was in Huntsville, right? I mean, in Huntsville, she said this is kind of normal, that the foreign intelligence agencies, they'll target you in school, they'll identify you in school, in university, and Huntsville, which has all these like NASA and military and scientific facilities.
Did you hear that? So this guy here, I think this is a business partner, but I'm not 100%, put her in touch with somebody from the CIA, and she told him everything, and he confirmed that everything she's experiencing are tactics that they do use when they have a TI, a targeted individual. There's too much here to ignore. There's too much.
Private companies. It's going to be a prime location for the attentions of a hostile foreign intelligence service. So I think from her perspective, it was really, well, I'm being targeted. Initially, she thought that it was, Russians. We discussed all this. And then my theory was that we came up with a theory. We said, well, based on what your ex-CIA weapons guy has said, based on what, the former colonel, the former U.S. Air Force general, who's working with you is saying, it would be very hard for a foreign intelligence service to have that amount of people on the ground over a period of years without getting noticed by domestic agencies. So I put her in touch with somebody from the intelligence community who got the FBI onto her. She said that the FBI initially were very interested, and then they spoke to her for a few weeks, and then she said they turned around and said to her, sorry, but we don't have jurisdiction in this case. That's what she was told.
Wow. Pretty clearly, whoever was doing it wanted her to know that they were messing with her, making it pretty obvious they'd been in her house or car and were moving things around, leaving things that she couldn't help but notice. Did she ever get a specific warning that said, hey, back off from this or else this continues?
No, not specifically that per se, but I mean, she had these social engineering attempts where people would be, bombarding her with information that they knew about her and asking her about her work. So it became pretty obvious to her that that's what they wanted her to desist from doing.
Right, looks like this is the end. I don't know if that was Frank Milburn. Let me just see if he's still on. One moment, guys. Let me just see if this Frank guy is him or whether he... I think, if I remember rightly, Frank Milburn was this CIA guy, this ex-CIA guy that could help her. But yeah, so basically in the last couple of days since we started covering this has really gone to the mainstream media now. And there's been confirmation that this will now be investigated by... What the hell? Hold on a sec. One moment. I'm just doing a bit of live research whilst we're talking. I'm just looking on Twitter for this guy, this Frank dude. I think I've found him. On X. Let me just follow him. Okay, so we're going to call the end of that one. Now, I do want to show you, before we continue listening to some more of Amy's own words, that Congress, apparently Donald Trump, whether he's doing it for real or not, he has launched a probe. So Congress are finally going to start to look into this. The thing is that because it's so scattered all over the place and it's such a big country, then at the moment the agencies are getting away with just saying, oh, well, it's just a coincidence. They're getting away with it because they need to put a specialist task force on this so that somebody who is separate to all of these different areas can actually sit down and speak to people from each police force, from each area, and collate, because right now there's no one doing that. You've just got one force doesn't speak to the other force because they're all in different states. There is a couple in the same state, but we'll get onto that further down the line. But this is from yesterday, the 27th. Was yesterday? Yeah. So Congress has finally, I'm just going to copy this in, finally launched a probe into the mysterious deaths of 11 scientists, deaths or disappearances of 11 scientists. I thought there was 12, but let's see. Tied to US nuclear, aerospace and space programs. This Republican coma says something sinister could be happening. He added that the cluster of cases doesn't pass the smell test. This is me quoting. Oh, hang on, me back. And has prompted Congress to treat the matter as a top priority. So they've put a picture of Amy there. These are some of them. These are, these are these people. Obviously, we start with Amy, but we're gonna keep going, guys. And obviously not tonight. There's just three of them there that have disappeared. Or died. And it goes on about Amy here, how she died. We know about this. So the 24th of April, just a few days ago, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, Republican, Kentucky, and Republican, again, it's the Republicans that are pushing this, Eric Burleson, have sent formal letters to the FBI, the Department of Energy, NASA, and the Department of Defense, demanding briefings on a string of deaths and disappearances involving at least 11 scientists, researchers, and officials with access to highly sensitive US nuclear secrets, advanced rocket technology, and aerospace programs. The lawmakers warn that if the reported pattern holds, it could represent a grave threat to national security, with Comer stating publicly something sinister could be happening. He's prompted Congress to treat the matter as top priority. The incident spanning from 2022 to early this year involve personnel connected to NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Los Alamos National Laboratory, MIT's Nuclear Fusion Research, Caltech, Air Force Research Laboratory programs, and related defense contractors. Many held security clearances for classified work on propulsion systems, nuclear technology, advanced materials, and space missions. So a Fox News report highlighted a US map marking the last known locations of the individuals, fueling widespread online discussion and prompting the White House and the FBI to review the cases for possible connections. So this is really, really interesting. This is really good news. This is really good news, guys, because we're covering... they're actually talking about it. Congress are talking about it, and they're going to investigate it. So we're covering something that is current. They're literally looking into it now. So here we're going to have these. They're listed all here. Now I've got this list already, and I've got them in order. But you won't believe some of these stories. I'm not going to go through them all now because we're going to focus on one at a time. Like I said, some stories only have one or two. We don't have much, but what we do have, we will be covering. What's going on in the chat? How are we all doing? Stephen Hull, they should be talking about it. Terry Knowles Band again. Oh, thank you very much, Sparkle, darling. Terry Knowles Band again in the house. How you doing, mate? So what we're going to do now, we're going to watch some more podcast. And then I think we're going to have to wrap up Amy's segment because there's just so much. Now, we've seen some of this, but I don't... Did you say it was time-stamped? Is this a different one? Here we go. Right, so this is all time-stamped. We've seen some of this. All right. The thing is as well with this, I could spend weeks talking about what she did. I think what I'm going to do, we're going to leave this here for the live streams. The next live stream will be about, is it Michael next, Sparkle? Let me know, love. I think it's Michael next. We're gonna carry on to Michael. But in the meantime, I'm going to put a video together with what we've been speaking about on these live streams, just about Amy. So for people that can't make the lives, just bullet point a few things that we know and just put it together in a video. I think we'll do that because there's more. There's so much more stuff. So this is really good that someone's done this. So we've seen some of this. We've seen that. we've seen that. I think we've seen this. Publish or not to publish. Mark's emails. Let's have a look what this one is. Who's Mark? Is Mark the person who's on this with her? Right. Interview with Jeremy Rice and Mark Sokol. Again, this is the edited version because the 3-hour version has got a lot of dead air in it, but you can see, apparently you can see the other person's screen. I will have a quick look at that. Now, apparently this HAL 5 was something to do with her as well. Another business, or the washing machine's going now. And then there is this slide deck as well from 2018 that is quite interesting. But we'll start here. We've covered the break-ins. Don't know what this is.
Jeremy, did you see those emails I sent? Those emails I received about talking about my... No, not my...
Damn, that's bad.
No, they're going after my daughter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was like he was answering me then. Like, what? Yeah. So this is the person she's talking to. This is from the same interview we watched last night, but there's a lot more going after his daughter. Let's have a listen.
I don't know if it's a threat, if they're just trying to fuck with me, but they sent me an email with an invite to edit a document.
Thanks, babe.
So I opened up the document. The document was called The Falcon Space Camp. I opened it up. It's basically kids between the ages of 8 to 11, and Ashira is 8,
You're right.
can go on this adventure of a lifetime, millions of years in the future, with the USC Hawkeye, United Space Command, probably Hawkeye time machine, millions of years in the future. Are they
with the robot?
What the fuck is going on here? So I actually contacted them, and I was like, straight out from the beginning, I am open source. I said, I don't know if time machines are possible. It's kind of, I believe it. I just wanted to explain to them that they probably made a mistake here because I am Falcon Space Program, not the Falcon Space Program, which was the email that they used for it. Basically, people went to extreme lengths to fuck with me.
That happens, man. I'm sorry. Who's Dan? Have you seen one? Yes. What have you seen? Why are you into this? What's your reason? What's your motivation? What have you seen? What do you know? From like childhood. I love that book. There's plenty of room at the bottom. There's plenty of room at the bottom, man. Been there, done that. I've got it printed here somewhere from like a decade ago. But really, I was asleep. Mark was like, we should go. You need to watch Jeremy live. And I'm like,
right, listen to this, right? So Tamsin has just reminded me of something that is very important. I'm not going to get it up on the screen. I'm just going to read this to you. So just reminded me, Tamsin, about her dad. Now, her dad, as we know from last night, was, thank you very much, darling. Thank you, sweetie. The dad was apparently Paperclip 2.0. So he was trained by the original Paperclip Nancy scientist, and she was what she referred to herself as Paperclip 3.0. So her dad, listen to this, right? So when she died, it says, right, in statements to the media and in her obituary, Eskridge's family emphasised her intellect and scientific curiosity, yet we know all that, whilst also noting chronic health struggles. I think they've either been paid or they've been threatened. How do we even know that this is even their real daughter? How do we know they haven't like adopted her and used her to do MK Ultra shit? And people think, oh, that's a conspiracy. We know it's real. MK Ultra's real. This is not a conspiracy. It's all real. It's all documented. You don't know, do you? So apparently her father has come out and said that that Amy had chronic health struggles. Sparkle, can you find out if she was the eldest for me, please, of the three children, out of interest? Secondly, they might be threatening the other two kids. It says here that she was a marvellously intelligent person who suffered from, I quote, chronic pain, a characterization they have offered as context for her struggles, rather than grounds for conspiracy theories. So they're trying to say she's drunk all the time and she's acting all nuts, not because she's being attacked, because she's in chronic pain. That is what the family are trying to say. Now, it says here that Eskridge, a former NASA employee who worked with his daughter, has been the most visible spokesperson pushing back on the alternative narratives. He has publicly dismissed suggestions of foul play and told reporters, listen to this, folks, and I quote, "Scientists do die, just like other people," 34 years old, framing the loss as a tragic but not inexplicable death, urging the public to accept official accounts rather than chase unverified theories. Thank you, Sparkle. That is what exactly. I'm in chronic pain. You don't see me doing this, saying that people are direct energy weapons into me and sat there getting drunk on stream. So, official ruling and the family's defence, and what I'm reading from is something called facts. So it's just facts. It's not giving an opinion. It's just giving you all the facts, and that's it. Okay, and it says. It goes on, multiple outlets report that Amy died in 2022, even though we've got no police report. And the authorities ruled her death a suicide. Again, we've got no evidence of this. Family statements have referenced and aligned with the official finding, emphasising that they want the death understood in the context of those determinations and that they have not seen grounds to entertain the online speculation. Now, it says here, family response to the new allegations and resurfaced messages. When new footage, texts and third-party claims about directed energy attacks or Havana syndrome style harassment resurfaced, listen to this, the family have again, this is very recently, reiterated their stance that nothing about her death is suggesting a mystery. They have not corroborated the leaked messages and have asked that attention be focused on confirmed facts rather than sensational claim. Well, what are the confirmed facts then? Because where's the report? It doesn't make any sense. Where's the police report? So it talks about her memorial. Yeah, we know about this. We've read this before. Now it says here, it says that she's a genius and an iconoclastic researcher, details that have helped fuel public interest. But those same public records and family comments have not provided evidence contradicting the medical legal findings about her cause of death. Rather, the obituary framed her life and work, while family statements asked that grieving and official process be respected. But there's nothing. There's nothing. It goes on. Despite the family's consistent public messaging rejecting what they're calling conspiracy theorists, various commentators, researchers and posts have pointed to resurfaced texts, videos and alleged injuries to argue for further scrutiny. The family's explicit danger in this environment is twofold. They must defend the initial explanation for their loved one whilst weathering repeated public insinuations. This doesn't make any sense, guys. You know, and the thing is, this isn't us just like wanting to bother the family with conspiracy theories. This woman told us. She told us all of this. It's so, so sad. It's so sad. I've got all the original messages as well, so I'll probably have a look in a minute. But let's watch some more. So this guy here, who she's talking to, is saying that they've threatened his children.
I was like, I'm fucking tired. I'm going to bed. I'm sorry. I met him in Huntsville. Oh, whatever. I took them to drinks that night. Hal and Lou. I don't know. You maybe don't know my history. Hal has been to my house like 3 times, like to my personal home. I was living in Seattle for like 3 or 4 years. I was doing the entrepreneur thing. I had
So it's cutting out dead air. So when it jumps about, it's because it's going to him and they haven't screen recorded. Somebody screen recorded this. That's the only way we've got it. I don't know where this originally was podcasted. Do we know whether Amy had a YouTube channel where all of her research is on? Does anyone know this? It looks like they have literally wiped the internet. The only way we're ever going to find out anything if someone goes on the dark web where they can't wipe it. But I'm not doing that unless there's anything on Wayback Machine. I don't know. There might be. But they can't wipe that apparently because it's all archived forever. So let's listen to some more of what Amy's talking about here.
like an encryption company where I was like doing encrypted, like end-to-end encrypted file storage stuff for like privacy, security, whatever. And so I was in Seattle and my dad got poached by this weird ass investor. Long story, weird ass investor poached my dad out of NASA. And this weird ass investor who lives in Austin, Texas, he's a real estate investor in Austin, Texas, made all his money doing real estate for GE in Moscow, whatever.
Well,
This guy, this investor, brings Hal to our house 3 times. I was present for one of the times. I happened to be home from Seattle at the same time that Hal came over, and I sat with him in my dining room over there at the dining room table, and he was talking about ultra terrestrials. And basically, ultra terrestrials are like, he talks about extraterrestrial. Extra implies that they're from somewhere else, from the outside. Extra.
Wow. This is even more interesting. So she was talking about not only extraterrestrials, ultra terrestrials, like aliens and shit. And again, she sounds like a lunatic, but this was a bloody extremely intelligent woman. Hello, Amethyst Stars. Welcome. Are you new? Oh, it's me, Amethyst. I had to change my name. You've got a new channel. That's not you because you haven't got a wrench. How do we know it's not an imposter? Let me have a look. Brand new channel. Created today. Created today. How do we know that's the real Amethyst? If you've changed your name, why have you got a brand new channel that you've just created today? Why not just change your name on your old one? Do me a favour, Amethyst. Drop me an email if it's you. If it's you, I'm sure you've emailed me before. I'll know it's you. I'm not saying don't believe you. I'm saying I've got to be careful because it could be a troll pretending. Only just done, Penny. It's me. Why couldn't you comment, darling? I hope it is you, but we've got to be careful, you know? Yeah, good idea, Bridget, love.
Implies they're from not here, from ultra terrestrial.
they're from the doggy.
They're not necessarily from the outside. They're from here.
Oh,
So they're
did you hear that? They're not necessarily from the outside. They're here. Oh. Honestly, it probably is Amethyst, but it's a bit strange that Amethyst would make a brand new YouTube channel when she's been with me for ages. Yeah, but everyone knows that. There's jets over us again now. There's been jets over us all day, literally shaking the house. Interesting. We are the aliens. Guys, if you're really enjoying this, please hit the like and let me know if you want me to keep going. Guys, we might have to do another show. We'll see how long this goes on for. If you want to go to bed, and I'm still going, you can always watch it after. Or I don't know. I don't want to be on too long tonight. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I couldn't comment. How bizarre. The thing is, I hope it's Amethyst, but it's a bit strange that you've made a brand new account because you couldn't comment. I don't know. I just don't want you to be an imposter. I want you to be the real Amethyst. Drop me an email,
they're
darling.
like ascended beings, or so then they're you.
What do you guys
IIQ.
think it's the real
No,
one?
we're not ascended.
Imposter.
They look like you and me. They look like you and me. If you don't know, I don't know. Am I one? I don't know. I was born in Huntsville, Alabama, in the West Wing of Huntsville Hospital in Madison County, Alabama. On a Saturday around midnight, I was born. I don't know. I'm a Virgo. So I was told, which is funny. My current gynecologist, OBGYN, the man that does my pap smears every year, gave birth to me in Huntsville Hospital.
What?
32 years ago. It's like my current gyno did my delivery 32 years ago for my mom.
When she says gave birth to me, I was like, what? Is she trying to tell us something? That she's some sort of like pod baby? You know what I was just saying about how do we know it's actually their daughter? You know? You don't know, do you? Yeah. We need to listen to that bit again. She's trying to tell us something. Was she actually created as in, you know, lab grown? Because it happens. What the hell is she talking about here? The gyno who does my pap smears gave birth to me. What? This is getting really weird now. Guys, if there's another hour and a half of this, we're not going to get all this done tonight. Let's listen again.
In County, Alabama. On a Saturday around midnight, I was born. I don't know. I'm a Virgo. So I was told, which is funny. My current gynecologist, OBGYN, the man that does my pap smears every year, gave birth to me in Huntsville Hospital.
What?
32 years ago. It's like my current gyno did my delivery 32 years ago for my mom.
How can he give birth to her? And then he said, did my delivery. This is really weird. No, because she's from Huntsville, Steve. Why would a man do your pap smears? And they have a pap smear every year. So they're saying that the man who gave birth to her, which is what I'm guessing she means delivered her, he's got his hand up a fanny every year, taking pap smears. What the fuck? This is weird, man. Do you know what? I'm not sure it is that, Bridget. There's the stuff that she says here, and she shows proof. She was a brilliant mind. She was working on anti-gravity stuff. She is an entrepreneur. She had her own business. At this point, she had been harassed and targeted to the point where she was just drinking. But I don't know if you've seen last night and the night before, Bridget, but she's been through absolute hell, stalked and everything by these very shady people. And then she kept saying, I am not suicidal. I did not kill myself and I did not kill anybody else. And next thing you know, she's dead. And no one knows why. No police report, nothing.
Small town shit. But no, so Hal talks about ultra terrestrials and they're from here, but ultra, why are they so much better? Why are they so much better from here? It's not anymore, yeah. Ultra. They're from here, but why are they so much better? Do you have a guess? Ultra. I've never Googled it. I don't know. I sat at my dining room table. The man was talking about ultra terrestrials. I've never Googled it. I don't know. Keel with a K? I don't know anything about that. I was telling Mark tells me about these conspiracy theories, and I'm like, dude, I have never been interested in aliens. I was born in Huntsville, Alabama, to the technical lead of the PRL. I'm like the propulsion princess of Huntsville, Alabama, the propulsion capital of the world, totally by accident, 100% by accident. I was born into this shit. I have not sought out any information about aliens whatsoever. I've sought out zero information about aliens. Everything I
Is she an alien or something? What the hell? The stuff she's coming out with now is getting really, really weird. Good boy, Momo. Boy, Momo.
know is from direct experience. Everything I know is from direct experience, and people I know being like, dude, have you heard about the aliens? I have this evidence, smoking gun. I have never Googled aliens ever. I don't know what the current theories are. I have no. Well, so the ultra terrestrials, I'll just tell you, the ultra terrestrials, I think. Have you heard of the P-52s and the P-47s? Do you know what that is? They're us from the future. They're from here. They are you. They are me. They're from here, from the future. P47 is present plus 47,000 years. P52 is present plus 52,000 years. And basically there's a calamity, right? So there's like a apocalypse scenario in the near future. It wipes out most of like everything, man. And there's the ones that go underground and survive, right? And then there's the ones that somehow stay on the surface and miraculously don't die. I probably know who it is. Keep going. Well, I mean, I can probably tell you who he works for. That's not Lockheed. If you give me more detail. I've never heard of the man. If you give me more detail, I can tell you who he works for.
I Michael at Alien Con. He seemed like a pretty sincere kind of guy. He's very shy and timid, and I don't think he's really working for anybody. He's just an historian. Like, he doesn't really care about the current affairs. He's an historian of the facts. He's like,
he works for Northrop. He works for Northrop. Dude, Northrop. Lockheed, fucking no. Boeing, fucking no. Northrop is Northrop. Keep talking. I'm listening. Wait, months before what was happening? Okay, where does he live? Was he hinting at Corona in November? Or what? It is. What do they say? When? The shit was popping off when? You know what? I'm looking at my Outlook calendar right now to see what I was doing in November. I can tell you right now, I had Corona in November of last year. That's a long story. I had Corona in November of last year. December 16th. What was I doing then? Hold on. Here it is in my Outlook. Plasma thruster discussion. Okay, I was negotiating with Maxar about selling them a plasma thruster patent on the 17th of December. And then let's see what else. Deborah, the CEO of the Space and Rocket Center, had her retirement party the 18th. What was the week before? Let me look. Not much.
Hey, Nanny. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Hello, Mr. Bean. There's been more threats this evening from you know who. I'll try and get. Oh, thank you. That's kind of you. Thank you. I haven't even been around, Mr. Bean. I appreciate that, mate. I've not even been around that side. I just do my own thing. There's a load of clones, obviously. There's clones of me all over. But I've not even been around that side of YouTube. So there's no reason to be bringing me up or anything. It's an absolute joke. But yeah, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Right. Yeah, she left when I said send an email. Cheers, bud. I'll get it all forwarded on because I've still got it all open. So anything that you got can help. Thank you. Yeah, so she's really spilling now, isn't she? Yeah, Amethyst went. You might be the real one. Oh, it is. Okay, hang on a minute. Right, it is her. Yeah, thank you very much. She's emailed me. Thank you, Amethyst. It is Amethyst. She said she had to make a new channel. I don't know why, but that's really weird. But it is her because she's just dropped me an email. So thank you for confirming.
I had
She must have gone to do an email.
From September to January. I got Corona in September of 2019. I was in Vegas.
Pick up what she's just said. She was talking about she was giving dates. She can't be that incoherent because she was giving dates on when she was selling patents to certain things that she's invented. So she knows a lot. You know, she's you wouldn't be able to remember that if you were absolutely bladdered. You wouldn't be able to remember that, would you?
DEF CON. I got Corona at DEF CON in Vegas in September. Mid-September. It was fucking crazy. I thought I was going to die. Like, I was telling all my business partners, like, oh my God, I have this gnarly flu. It's the worst ever.
Yeah,
I've never experienced such a thing. Like, I would stand up out of bed and be like, fuck, I have to lay back down. Because I couldn't stand. I was like cruising around the apartment. Like, you know how toddlers like cruise. like hanging onto the
Well,
furniture,
not George
walking.
thinks I'm talking about
I
something.
was doing that. I was cruising around the living room. I couldn't stand up straight. Like I was walking bent over. I was so short of breath. I was getting palpitations taking the trash out. From
Beautiful.
September to January of last year, I got it at DEF CON. And like my boyfriend and I, that we were living together, my boyfriend and I at the time, he had it too. He had the rash over his eye. I had the rash on, it was like on the inside of my thighs. I had a rash 3 times. I did 3 packs of prednisone to get rid of the rash. And then it started with the vomiting. The vomiting was fucking crazy. My boyfriend and I, my ex and I, we vomited every day. If he didn't vomit, I vomited. If I didn't vomit, he vomited from September to January of last year. And I finally got the respiratory thing in November. And then I ended up in the ER December like 30th with like all this mucus in my lungs.
What?
Like it was the thickest mucus I've ever experienced. Like I didn't know it was in there because it was so thick. It wasn't moving when I was breathing in and out. So there was no rattle because it was so thick. I was just like this thick, clear mucus. I thought I was going to die.
So it's back. The England flag's back. Oh no, this poor woman. Amethyst, are you a clone? What you done with our Amethyst? Well, she's emailed me, but the thing is as well, if it is a clone, then where's the real one? Because the real one's usually in. So we're going to go with its Amethyst. And she did put a purple heart as well. Amethyst always puts a purple heart. So I'm going to go with what Nanny says. How you doing, Nanny love? Not seen you for a while. This is insane. Guys, let me know if you want me to keep going with this, if you find it interesting.
I had corona from September to January. I finally got over it because I broke up with him. I social distanced because we were giving it to each other back and forth from September to January. Like the 3 rashes I got was 3 reinfections. He reinfected me 3 times. I reinfected him. I did 3 packs of prednisone for a rash 3 different times, and then I ended up in the ER. And it didn't go away until I broke up with him because he was a fucking rage machine douchebag. I broke up. The minute I moved home, well, because the break-ins were happening at our apartment together. So I broke up with him. I moved home to my parents' house to get away from the break-ins. And I was better immediately. As soon as I social distanced from him, we stopped passing it back and forth forever.
Interesting.
And I finally got over corona. And like now I have like post-corona complications that really fucking suck. You're going to see.
It didn't make any
Listen
sense
to
then,
me.
because she said she kept passing it to her. And then she said because he was a rage fest. It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense, does it? So like, if he's passing it to you, it wouldn't matter if he's a dickhead or not. If he's passing it to you, it would just happen. It's really weird. I wonder if she had the older,
I said it first. In 6 weeks to 2 months to 3 months on CNN, Fox News, you're going to see that post-corona complications are going to kill more people than the initial infection. More people are going to die from the complications after recovery than died in the original infection. I'm here to tell you, because I barely fucking made it. I barely made it. Everyone's had it 2 or 3 times already, but the post complications, there's going to be a whole wave. There's going to be a massive wave, like 3, 4, 5, 6 months after infection. I had it in September. I had it before anyone had it. The people that they're studying right now contracted it in February or March. I've had it since September. I know what the post-COVID complications are. They really suck.
Why is she
They really
talking
suck
about
really
this?
bad.
It's weird.
I was at DEF CON in Vegas mid-September. The antibodies don't even help, man. Like I've had it so many times. I have antibodies at the wazoo. I keep
Scotland's
recontracting
back.
it. It sucks.
Maybe
But
look at that. I got a gyroscope on 2 edges like that, basically at a 90-degree angle. I just have this inspiration right now. See what happens when you spin them around.
Wales
Look at that.
back.
he's getting me off corona. He's like, okay,
Yeah,
let's
you can
take
stop
Amy
thinking
off
about
her
it.
corona like soapbox right
Doesn't
now.
matter when you think you did create negative.
It's killing me. What? I had beers with a Chinese hacker from Wuhan
What?
at DEF CON. I still have his number in my phone. I should text him and be like,
So
yo.
she was also talking about this. This is interesting. Now, this is 2020. So the Thingy Bobs wasn't even out then, look. So this is probably during the old lockdown, isn't it? Or just after the first one. Interesting. But she said she still went to this DEF CON, which is apparently where they all go. Anyone know what this DEF CON is?
What's your name, Chinese hacker? Did you get corona? Did you give me corona? Are you still? I should text him and be like, "Are you still alive, dude?
Yeah.
Are you still alive?" Question mark.
Hi, English, but
spin the axis around.
Distraction.
Just by going on the plane of the spin and shifting it a little bit, you can force. Let's not talk about Amy's health, okay?
It sucks. Let's move on.
I wonder.
Yes.
Is this guy called? Oh my God, this guy's called Mark Sokol.
I'm sorry. I ragdolled because you said Martin more. His job is to publish null results, man. Hold on. I spilled my beer. Hold on. Just a second. You said Martin Tamar and I spilled my beer. Oh, fuck. No, I know Martin. He's paid. Sorry. Oh, dude. God. Okay, so Martin Tamar has the most advanced, the best funded, the best equipment, the best money, cash money of any anti-gravity research on the planet. He's funded by the German Air Force. All he ever publishes is null results. That's weird. He has the best equipment, the best lab. He has a fleet of fucking grad students. Germans no less. They're good at this. He has a fleet of German grad students. All he publishes is null results. What's up with that? I can tell you what's up with that. I met him in 2018 at Estes Park at Jim Woodward, the father of the Mach Effect, whatever. Mach Effect, Alcubierre, Jim Woodward. Okay, so Jim has this like invite only conference that's in Estes Park every 2 years. So it's like whatever. Actually, I have my badge from it. Hold on. Are you aware of this? Hold on, let me show you my badge. Dude, I don't know. I don't see my badge. But anyway, Tony Robertson, Glenn Anthony, whatever, he invited me to Estes Park in 2018. And I went with Chantel, she's Chief Research Officer of Geometric Energy in Calgary, Alberta. I don't know if you know who Sam and Chantel are, Canadians, whatever. They're my business partners. Chantel and I went to this conference in Estes Park in 2018. And
you got to introduce Sam.
What?
Sam, what's his last name again? His real song.
Reed/Herzog. His last name isn't really his last name, whatever. Okay.
Show him his last text. Yeah.
Do you want me to flick through some of this now? Let's have a look and see let's have a look at the, oh, George wants to go out now. Can you take George out, please? Well, he's tapping on the door. Maybe he wants another, he's just had his dinner. He's finally just eaten. It's not been eating much. Let's have a quick look here. So we've done the ultra terrestrials. What I was doing in November, I probably know it is. Where are we now? What time are we on? 41. So let's see if there's anything else worth watching here. Amy figured out she's part Jewish. Let's have a listen. Oh, what's this? Let's have a listen to this.
5 years.
Amy, you're an autistic Jewish girl too.
That's hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the punchline to the joke. But it's the punchline to the joke.
Figured out that she's Jewish?
What?
We figured out that she's Jewish through genetic testing. So Judaism follows the mother line, the maternal line. Amy's great grandmother was given up in an orphanage in Nazi Germany, and she has that exact percentage of.
So it looks like her family did come over with the Nazi scientists. Then this is really interesting.
DNA that is Jewish. So we're trying to get her mother to do a genetic test. If the mother
I'm like
has
a secret Jew
out of Jewish DNA, it's clear, 100% clear that that line of mother to mother,
yeah.
they're all Jewish.
I was raised believing I was English, Scotch, Irish, Anglo-Saxon, mutt. And then I did 23andMe. Do 23andMe. I did 23andMe. I am 18% Ashkenazi Jew. 18%.
Wow.
And we have no previous knowledge of Jewish ancestry whatsoever. But my great-grandmother grew up in an orphanage, and we have nothing, we have
She
no
wants to
history
go
about
spinning
her
again.
whatsoever. Anyway,
Did
so
you have a
Sam
wee-wee?
solved the puzzle of Cicada 2.0 5
wee-wee?
years later, and he got the
So he wants to go
coordinates.
spinning again then.
And he went and he got the thumb drive.
Oh,
And
God.
on this thumb drive was like a whole shit ton of videos of like black and white grainy, like through a porthole.
Spinning.
You know, it looks like it was taken 60 years ago, video through a porthole of like the rings of Saturn
What?
and like the moons of Jupiter.
What is she? I need to listen back because I was watching George.
Jew. 18%. And we have no previous knowledge of Jewish ancestry whatsoever. But my great-grandmother grew up in an orphanage, and we have nothing, we have no history about her whatsoever. Anyway, so Sam solved the puzzle of Cicada 2.0 5 years later, and he got the coordinates. And he went and he got the thumb drive. And on this thumb drive was like a whole shit ton of videos of like black and white grainy, like through a porthole. You know, it looks like it was taken 60 years ago, video through a porthole of like the rings of Saturn and like the moons of Jupiter and shit like that, like black and white footage. And he posted them on YouTube and posted the YouTube links on Reddit. And so it was this whole big thing about Cicada 2.0. And I wanted to show them to Mark like a week ago. Cicada.
Jeremy, we're living on one of the only planets in the universe that has internal combustion engines working with GPS systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to send you my business plan. I pontificate about this at length. And let me tell you, I'm in Huntsville, Alabama. I know I've said that several times. We're the Rocket City. We're the biggest deal you've never heard of. Von Braun was here and we won the space race. We developed the Saturn V here. We built the Saturn V here. We won the space race here in Alabama, whether you've heard of it or not. And I can tell you for a fact, so many prototypes. So many prototypes. Only prototype built like this in the world. You turn it on the first time, it works exactly like you thought it would the first time. Great data. You apply for more funding to test it more thoroughly. They They cancel it. It goes to NASA divestment. It goes to the auction block. People bid on it, and literally scrap metal vendors win the bid and melt it down for scrap metal and sell it. We could be crazy far. We could be on the moons of Jupiter. We could be exploring Pluto that isn't even a planet anymore if we had spent money differently. I can tell you the names of so many NASA scientists that are depressed and they want to kill themselves
for whatever
because
reason,
they have built prototype after prototype after prototype in Huntsville, Alabama. First in the world, never before seen, worked the first time you turned it on exactly like you thought. And it was canceled and melted down for scrap metal. It's
I wonder if they have neutron beam generators there.
Did you hear that?
I don't know. Bill is lying to me. I can't tell. Bill's a really good liar. I can't tell.
Amy, I'm telling you, it's possible.
George,
I think we could do it without Bill, but his knowledge would probably be
Give me a
useful.
kiss in the ear.
I know we can do it without
No!
Bill. Bill is like on my team just to like test me and fuck me up.
George.
Look at this. I literally have the power
God.
right here you need for a neutron generator. Right next to me.
So Jeremy, I was homeschooled through this group called Covenant Christian
He's just
Academy.
come running up to
I was
me
in public
and
school.
his tongue in my ear and give me a big lick. You are bonkers, you are, George. I don't know what's wrong with him. There's nothing. I think maybe it's because he can hear the washing machine. So, guys, I'm just going to have a quick look through and see what else we've missed. Hang on. If it's worth continuing, because I've had nothing to eat today, so I need to eat something really. Right. Yeah, we've heard some of this. Look, because we've done this 5,000. Have you got in WD-40? You didn't answer me. Did we got any or not? We haven't.
Not instantly to hand, no.
What? Do you need me to order some?
No, I thought so.
Right, so she talks about the 5,000 foreign nationals. Gizmo, no. Mamau, no. Dirty, naughty, no humping. I'm just seeing. Stop it. Disturbingly big pile of intel. Amy should pull the string. We discovered anti-gravity and it's the worst thing that could have happened to us. I can't do back. We've heard some of this. We have heard a lot of this, guys. Listen to this one. My mom was emailing Bob Lazar. Let's have a listen to this.
Like my mom was emailing back and forth with Bob
Why
for
is
like
the audio
weeks
so low?
for United Nuclear, his company, like about a Van de Graaff machine that we were buying, and they're like negotiating like shipment and stuff. And I'm like, you realize you're talking to Bob Lazar, right? She's like, I don't know. He just signs his email Bob. I'm like, yeah, that's Bob Lazar. But yeah, Jeremy gave me his personal email at AlienCon and like, email me. And so I met him there. Jeremy was basically like, call me when you can show me something that I can film. And I have something he can film, but I want to finish the next one that's better for him to film. And so it's kind of like I'm breaking the rules if I contact him without saying, hey, come down here and film. Because he was like, I'm going to bring George Knapp and blah, 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 and we'll film. But Lou said the same thing. Lou was like, oh, we're filming the second season of the TTSA show on.
Right, so I think a lot of it now is just waffling. I'm just seeing if there's anything else interesting here. I still can't believe he just licked my ear and it really tickled. I can still feel it. George, stop it. George. Don't chew my lap. No. This is how naughty he is. What's this about? Let me listen to this public service announcement.
Public service announcement. If you go to a bar, never, ever, ever leave a drink and go to the bathroom and then come back and drink it. If you're going to the bathroom, finish your drink, get a new one when you come back. Public service announcement. That's all I have to say. Never leave your drink unattended. But yeah, I know. I just can't go.
Guys, there's a bar across the street. Come to the lab. We'll meet at the bar, okay? I know the tender. He's my neighbor.
Trusted party. Okay. Strength in numbers. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. Well, we'll talk to you later, Jeremy. It was nice chatting with you.
Right, okay. I don't think we've missed anything because most of this, what we've not watched is what we watched last night. I'm just seeing. George, stop it. I'm gonna hang on a minute. What's this here? I'm gonna gene therapy. Let me just see what this is.
Oh, anyway, is that the recent one or the old one? Is it the one where he talks about like George, he's like the scientist comes in and he's smoking a pipe. And he's like, I won't say the guy's name because you're not supposed to smoke a pipe in the lab. But he talks about how the pipe smoke like went over the experiment and there was like a vortex in the smoke.
Thanks.
Is that the one you're talking about? Oh shit. I recall. In 2000, let me think. In 2004, my dad tried to get me to do the Podkletnov experiment for the science fair. And I was like, LOL, I'm going to do gene therapy and biotech now. And then I went on to spend a decade in biotech. And now I'm back on the fucking anti-gravity.
Let's not forget that this is what Epstein was into as well. He was into all this. He sequenced his own DNA. He was cloning himself. Again, this isn't conspiracy. It was all in the Epstein files. We've been talking about this for years. But then when they were recently leaked, it was all proven. So that it's all factual. It's all factual. Oh, wow. So she's now talking about gene therapy. Gizmo, will you just stop it? Gizmo keeps trying to stop being naughty, Mama. Oh man, this is crazy.
Gravity, man. They pull me back in.
No, she goes for what's hard.
They pulled me back in.
I have no idea.
Gene therapy is a lot harder than anti-gravity. Anti-gravity is less sophisticated than GPS. That's why I keep on telling you. We're the only planet that got internal combustion engines running with GPS systems.
Anti-gravity is a gross misnomer. It's really super misleading. The term anti-gravity is really super misleading, barking up the wrong fucking tree, totally wrong, misleading. This is my life. So my dad was the technical lead of the Advanced Propulsion Lab at NASA Marshall, again, the propulsion capital of the world. So I was a little autistic girl, and I was listening to my dad moan and complain about NASA being inefficient and about how we could like do anti-gravity if they fucking funded us for my entire life. My brain is wired from birth, my entire development. My brain developed under the conditions of listening to the technical lead of the Advanced Propulsion Lab of NASA Marshall, the propulsion capital of the world, complain about how no one was funding him and he had great ideas. That is how my brain formed, man. I know some shit about this shit. Where are the others? I know them all. It's all canceled. Canceled. Prototype is the first in the world. Again, I said it. It worked the first time you turned it on exactly how you expected it to. Canceled.
George.
Canceled. Scrap metal. Canceled. Scrap metal. It's like, it's the story of my life in Huntsville. Canceled. 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 Turns out it wasn't canceled. Turns out they took it a level deeper. So, Mark, what's this information? What specifically? True, but not true. Yes. Yes, no. Who's he affiliated with? I really don't know. I don't seek this stuff out. I just want to know.
Richard Dolan.
Richard Dolan, okay. Who else?
Richard Dolan's basically a historian, but he's not a technology aspect. Stephen Greer is more like a producer. He brings in the emotion. He makes a watchable product. That's why I think Stephen Greer is the way to go. You have Jeremy Corbell, who created,
LOL.
That bullshit with Bob Lazar, who really wants to work with Amy. And I don't think that's the right path because, to be honest, Jeremy Corbell's, last thing was complete and utter bullshit. It's just like,
no, pause. Travis Taylor. I have a steak in my mouth. I'm sorry. Travis Taylor is from Huntsville, Alabama. He is a NASA Marshall Redstone Arsenal fucking rocket scientist. He's friends with my technical advisor, Tim Pickens. Tim Pickens, is he?
I need to be taking these names down, Sparkle. So we've got Travis Taylor and Tim Pickens. If we can you just note that down, please, darling? We can have a look after because she's name dropping here. I'm glad I went back to this bit now. So she's talking about these two. I don't know if he's still here, actually. I don't know, lovely jubbly. I'm really trying to find him. Travis Taylor. Don't know if she's still here. What was it? Tim Pickens. Hang on.
Turns out they took it a level deeper. So, Mark, what's this information? What specifically? True, but not true. Yes. Yes, no. Who's he affiliated with? I really don't know. I don't seek this stuff out. I just want to know.
Richard Dolan.
Richard Dolan, okay. Who else?
Richard Dolan's basically a historian, but he's not a technology aspect. Stephen Greer is more like a producer. He brings in the emotion. He makes a watchable product. That's why I think Stephen Greer is the way to go. You have Jeremy Corbell, who created,
LOL.
That bullshit with Bob Lazar, who really wants to work with Amy. And I don't think that's the right path because, to be honest, Jeremy Corbell's, last thing was complete and utter bullshit. It's just like,
no, pause. Travis Taylor. I have a steak in my mouth. I'm sorry. Travis Taylor is from Huntsville, Alabama. He is a NASA Marshall Redstone Arsenal fucking rocket scientist. He's friends with my technical advisor, Tim Pickens. Tim Pickens, is he? I don't know.
Let's keep the discussion on producers.
I'm saying, no, hold on just a sec. Travis Taylor is the legit rocket scientist. He has a great reputation. He's a smart man. He came off dumb. No, pause. Travis Taylor in Skinwalker Ranch was playing the role of the everyman, the straight man. What's going on? Question. That was his role. He was given that role. He understood that role and he executed it. He's not dumb. He's the legit fucking rocket scientist. He's not.
That's what
He
I
was
thought,
playing-
Lee. I thought it was that as well. What's it? Fire in the Sky. The guy. It must be a different one because English Buttercup says Travis Shane Taylor, born July 24th, 1968, an American scientist, engineer, got to be him. Gotta be pint of whiskey. Got to be him. Wow, this is so intriguing, isn't it? I don't know about you guys, but I think this is so intriguing. Right, a little bit more and then I'm going to go because I've been on for longer. When we start on Michael, they're going to be shorter shows. Obviously, it's been different with Amy because there's been all these podcasts we've had to listen to. So it's been a lot more time consuming than just me giving the information.
a character. Travis Trailer, whatever, I can't say it, in Skinwalker Ranch on the History Channel, he was playing the role of the audience, the straight man, the audience. If you've seen Arrested Development, Jason Bateman is the straight man. I don't know if you've seen it. Jason Bateman is the straight man. He's the one sane person in the whole show. Travis Taylor represents the audience, and he asks the questions that the audience would ask, and that is his only reason to be there. And he knows it, and he does it willingly for a paycheck. No, he's from here, like Rocket City Rednecks. Do you know what Rocket City Rednecks is? Script, paycheck, script, paycheck. Straight man represents the audience, script, paycheck. Yeah, so he did a show for, I think it was the Travel Channel, called Rocket City Rednecks. And it was literally about rocket scientists in Huntsville, Alabama, because, dude, the rocket scientists in Huntsville, Alabama are, in fact, the most advanced rocket scientists in the world. They are, in fact, also huge fucking rednecks. And it's hilarious as fuck. It's hilarious as fuck. And the Travel Channel made a show about this. I think there were 2 seasons. And Travis Trailer was like the VIP, like main character of that show. But like I have this other friend, Tim Pickens, and Tim Pickens was he was the head of propulsion for Bigelow Aerospace, advanced research, whatever, Bigelow.
Tim Pickens just sounds like Slim Pickings, doesn't it? Doesn't sound like a real name.
Before that, he was the head of propulsion for Virgin Galactic, Richard Branson, Spaceship One, whatever. But before that, he started at NASA Marshall on Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. And before that, his father trained under von Braun, and his father came to the Advanced Propulsion Research Lab at NASA Marshall, Huntsville, Alabama, where my dad was technical lead. And he would fucking test spark gaps and shit for rocket ignition. Tim Pickens' dad. So, like, I can give you the intergenerational. There's Paperclip 1.0. That's von Braun.
And we heard this yesterday.
There's Paperclip.
This is what we heard. I'm going to leave this running just for a sec because people that missed it, listen to this.
Clip 2.0. Those are the scientists trained by von Braun and his peers, aka my dad. There's Paperclip 3.0. That's the millennials that were trained by the people that were trained by von Braun. And that is me. MIT is Spook City. They work with SRI. Oh boy. If someone approaches me from MIT, I'm like, what's your what is your SRI connection? How? If someone approaches me from MIT, I'm like, fuck, how do you know how? And why are you talking to me? That's MIT is crazy. No, Huntsville's like this weird little time warp of propulsion advancement. We don't do anything else. Huntsville, the stereotype of Huntsville, Alabama is like, your daddy's a rocket scientist. Fuck you, join the club. Your daddy's a rocket scientist. Fuck you, join the club. That's Huntsville. It's like you go to networking events. No, it is. It is. So if you talk to the people in the know, like I talk to, they will tell you that there is an estimated 5,000 foreign nation state agents in Huntsville, Alabama. Would you not suppose that perhaps there's one domestic nation state agent per foreign agent in Huntsville, Alabama. Guess what? The population is only barely under it's barely over 100,000, man. There's barely over 100,000 people here. And there are 5,000 foreign nation state agents. They're bartenders. They're oil mechanics. They're medical device salesmen. They work at a restaurant. They work at your doctor's office. Their sole purpose is to go to the bar and sit there and listen to you talk while you're drunk. That's it. Period. There are 5,000 foreign nation state agents here, and all they do is go to the bar and listen to you talk while you're drunk. That's their job. That's their job. They will roofie you. They will threaten you. They will follow you. They will get information out of you one way or another. The ether tells you that. It says the fascinating world of graph theory. The fascinating world of graph theory. Name a topic. I have it. What? Arthur Benjamin, Gary Churtrand Pingzing. Oh, I have books. Hold on. What do you mean by nothing? Clarify. Space and subspace. Y'all chat for a minute. Let me look for a book about nothing on my bookcase. Y'all chat for a minute. Let me see what I got. Let me see what I got. Hold on. A book about nothing. Hold on. No, don't put pressure on me. Chat without me. I'm looking. Yeah, I'm a nerd. Yeah. I really like set theory and group theory. I desperately wish that I had taken more math in college. Okay, yeah. The topology, I just found it right there. Okay. I found a book that I think represents nothing. Okay. Okay. I'm going to preface this with nothing, in my opinion, is equal to the equal probability distribution against all outcomes. Because if you have all outcomes, all possible outcomes are equally probable. That's basically nothing, man. All possible outcomes are equally probable. That's basically nothing. This is my book that I chose. This is my book that I chose for that. I came up with something. I had to. I came up with something. Randomness is the same as nothing. Is it not? It is. 0%. 0% / 100% equals infinity equals nothing. DNA.
Oh, I was muted the whole time. I didn't realize that.
You were talking.
Yeah, basically,
Hi, Steph.
we are the finite.
I've just left this running for a minute while I'm just doing my shopping. There's still some interesting bits.
God's infinity.
Subspace.
The way I like to look at it is we're all basically vectors. We're like an arrow that's pointing in a certain direction toward a certain reality. And what we think about, we bring about. So what you're thinking and what you're concentrating on is what you want to create. And recently I've been concentrating on bringing about anti-gravity technology. That led me first to Jeremy Riss, because you're one of the most public people about this. And through your videos, you know, by going public, people actually posted in the comments. You haven't been reading all your comments, because I found everything that I know about anti-gravity through the comments of your videos. Amy was a link to a video that she gave at HAL 5, and I got that through a response to a comment that I made on one of our videos. And also the Alzheimer's experiment was also a comment on one of our videos.
It'll come.
Yeah. So that's why we make such a great team. You're the caller. You're making the noise. I'm the bullshit meter, and that's how we found Amy.
I had to take off the contact form on my website. It's exciting. It's novel, thrilling. I feel thrilled.
But we need to get to the other level.
Here's my experience with that. My HAL 5 talk, it's the Huntsville, Alabama L5 Society. It's
Right, that talk, I've got that. So I might just, what I might do is just upload it and premiere it, and we can all chat in the chat while it's on. Might do that.
like the weirdest, like retired NASA, like they have spooky stories that about like weird shit, like UFOs and time travel and weird shit, like retired NASA, whatever, Marshall, Redstone, Huntsville. So I like, that's my favorite party to crash. Like I love to crash a HAL 5 party. It's awesome because I show up. It's awesome. I show up. I'm the only woman there, and I'm less than 40. And the dudes lose their shit. They lose their shit, man. I'm a woman. I'm under 40. and they have heard stories about my dad. They're like, Richard Eskridge, fuck, he's crazy. I've heard stories about him. Like, I've literally
Talking about her dad now. This is worth listening to. I've missed all of this, so I'm gonna leave it running for a little bit longer, guys. Okay.
been at networking events, and I'm in line just for an event or whatever, and I talk to a random NASA person, and he knows the name Eskridge. And he's like, oh, Richard Eskridge, he's a crazy motherfucker. He's like, he gave me a spectrophotometer this one time, and I took it home, and I opened the box, and a snake crawled out of it. That's a real story I heard. That's a real story. And like, I go to these networking events, and they're like, Richard Eskridge, you're Richard Eskridge's daughter. He's fucking crazy, and he's fucking smart. But so I crash the Hell 5 parties all the time. And man, my contact form on my website is like you said, it filters for the quality people. Oops. The problem with that. It's mostly the majority of it is nation state motherfuckers. No one knows about you except the people who want to know. AKA, so Galactic Greg is the founder of the Hell 5. He's been the founder of the Hell 5 for like 25 or 30 years. He's got this awesome beard. He started this YouTube channel.
Jeremy, what are they going to hire you to do? You're doing what you're good at. What are you good at? That's the real question.
You do it all for free. Let me comment on that. The biggest problem with really smart motherfuckers is they solve one really big problem. They get a pat on the back and they rest on their laurels forever. I'm really smart. I'm a smart motherfucker. I'm a genius. I solved this famous problem. I published this paper. I got a Nobel. Dopamine, reward complex in my brain. Dopamine, reward. And they rest on their laurels. You know what they do with their smartest people? Cancel. Dopamine block. They get the ideas from you. They get the design. They get.
I'm going to see if there's anything else we've missed, and then I'm going to call it a day. The next show I might leave tomorrow because I've got to go out tomorrow night. That was quick. Okay. We'll see. I might have a night off, guys, because I've been going every single night. And it's also not fair on Sparkle because she's having to help a lot as well. So I might leave a gap tomorrow, and then I might go Thursday. When am I out? Yeah, tomorrow's a bit busy. Yeah, so I think what I'll probably do, I'm not 1,000,000%, not definite, but there's a chance I'm going to leave tomorrow and go Thursday, because me and Sparkle have got to research the next one on the list. Yeah, I think I need a night off. We've got to research the next one on the list, but I am going to try and put a little bit together in a short video of this. I also might upload some clips as shorts of what some of the things that she said. Yeah, I'm not definite though. Never say never. I might just appear. You never know. I might end up popping on one of my other channels because I'm the politics side of it. What's going on with Starmer is just mind blowing. But yeah, so I'm going to leave it there. So I'm probably going to go Thursday. It is so intriguing, and the next one that died on the list is Michael somebody, and again makes no sense. You wait till we get to the ones that disappeared out of thin air. It's so bizarre. It really is bizarre. Yeah, R.I.P. Amy. Do you know what? I like to think somewhere that she's alive somewhere, and that she set it all up to save her, so she sort of just disappeared. And that's why her family are so dismissive. You just don't know, do you? We just don't know. There's no official paperwork. Anyway, guys, please hit the like. Again, thank you, everybody, for supporting me. I really appreciate you. Thanks for coming back, Bridget. And again, yeah, definitely, Nikki. It's so difficult when you're doing different topics to focus. So I tend to if I'm going to be doing like this sort of thing, I tend to just stick on this sort of thing But then I understand there's a lot going on in the politics world as well. I do as well, Steph. Good to see you, by the way. Thanks for coming in. It's so sad, isn't it? Thank you again, Bad Gambler, for that. I'll have a quick look at that. May the 1st already. All right, then. Yeah, Stephen, I agree. Thank you to Sparkle. I think I don't know if she's gone, but a massive thank you for all the help as well that she's been giving me. Don't forget to hit the like, and thank you for joining me. And we'll be back Thursday on this channel with number 2 in the list. His name is Michael. Can't remember his last name, but he is another deceased scientist. Thank you very much. Take care. Good night. God bless. Bye.